Uruguay first, Bolivia last, United States and Panama sandwiched in between. The situation is basically this. The United States need a better result against Uruguay than Panama get against Bolivia in the group stage finale. Let's hear from Christian Pulisic, the aforementioned. He's looking ahead.
We have to go and we have to represent our country with passion, with pride. We have to go and play the best game of our lives, and that's it. We want to go and we want to win. We want to continue in this competition. I don't feel pressure for it. Just like every game, if a win against Uruguay is what we need, then that's what we have to go do. We're privileged to be in this position and have this opportunity to represent our country. I feel lucky to go into games like that, so I'm excited for it.
So the U.S. there as we take a look at the odds against Uruguay for Monday's game at Arrowhead. The odds makers actually have it pretty close. Interesting. I guess we still have our doubts as to what lineup Marcelo Bielsa and Uruguay will lose. They haven't clinched a spot in the knockout rounds yet, but because of goal difference, they're pretty darn close. Perk, how much confidence should U.S. fans have that they can get the result they need against Uruguay, considering what we all assume, which is that Panama is going to beat what's looked like the worst team in the tournament, Bolivia?
Correct. Given their top 20, record, a record versus top 20 opponents, not too much confidence, but this is a situation where everybody's thinking they're going to lose, right? If Uruguay go in with their best team, their A team, it's a situation where most fans are thinking it's not looking promising. I actually think styles make fights, and this is a great fight for the U.S. men's national.
Why?
You look at Uruguay and how they play and how fast and aggressive they are on the front foot. You see Ronald Araujo, Matias Oliveira, the two center backs, pressed up so high. If you can bypass their press, and let's say there's a Haji Wright playing on the left, a Christian Pulisic playing on the right, a Fowler and Balogun playing the center, Gio right behind that, those are some very good players in transition. You can catch them on the break. This is a situation where if you can absorb, be intelligent, you will have chances. Uruguay is the hottest team right now in the tournament offensively. They scored 8 goals. They've missed a ton more. Yeah. But it's a team that's not really been tested at the back. And the little that they have been tested, Panama, by the way, you said, oh, hold on a second. Maybe they're vulnerable here. And we know Marcelo Bielsa is plan A all the time. He's going to keep going full throttle. I think if you're intelligent, pick your moments, you could have your opportunities here.
I'm hearing some optimism from Herc. You agree?
Yeah, I'd agree. I mean, it's
We all watched Uruguay beat Bolivia badly last night, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
listen, I didn't say they're going to beat them.
Right.
I'm just saying
there's a path.
It's a good fight for them.
So I look at it and I think now Uruguay potentially could make several changes.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're going to go full 11 or 10, or maybe it's 5 with an idea of, maybe we can monitor some minutes. I know we've been a little critical of that, but maybe they can monitor some minutes of some other players if things go the right way. But I also really like what I saw from Panama to start the second half of that match against Uruguay. They went more direct. They bypassed that first line of pressure, and then they had some plays where they were 4v4, 3v3 at the back. If you can bypass that line consistently, now what have we seen from the U.S. over the last several years is try to overplay out of the back at times. That's exactly what you don't want to do against a Bielsa Uruguay. If you can bypass that line, get possession, and get those defenders that you mentioned isolated with the players that the U.S. has and the capabilities with the size and speed that they have, yes, they can create some problems for Uruguay.
Keep in mind, Uruguay is full throttle all the time. It is the Kansas City humidity. It is summer. This could be an issue for them. It's going to be very difficult to maintain a 90-minute pace for them, but certainly they are dangerous. If you can weather that storm, be good defensively, pick your moments, the U.S. men's national team should have their chances.
I would ask for your guys' predictions, but I feel like not knowing the Uruguay approach, it makes it kind of very difficult to guess kind of how the U.S. is going to perform here. Let me go a step further. Let's assume that whatever the result is, it's not enough, and the U.S. gets grouped in this tournament. I know there's a question of will Greg Berhalter be dismissed? That's a question for the Federation to answer. I really don't care. I want to know if you guys think he should be dismissed if they get grouped. Casey?
Unfortunately, I don't think it's as simple of that question. I think if you're in a situation with U.S. Soccer and you have unlimited funds and you have kind of more of a
ambition? Is that fair? Is that the word?
I don't know if ambition's the fair word, because I don't care. Any business has an ambition, But if you don't have the finances behind you, you have to slowly grow. And so I think what the Federation has done is they painted themselves into a corner where it's really difficult for them to say, pay out, new person in, bunch of money, go do well in the World Cup. It's not that simple. I think if we were in
I got to say, as a fan, you hate to hear that. You don't want to hear
I
the
know
U.S.
you hate to
soccer's
hear that, but
claiming they're broke ahead of the 2026 World Cup.
And
they can't bring in a high-quality manager.
It has nothing to do with being broke. It has to be doing with budgetary constraints that the U.S. Soccer Federation is under. You have other federations that have way more money in just either through sponsorship or through whatever they have to be able to spend on their manager. And U.S. Soccer at this point, after making the commitment to Greg, paying him what they're paying, having to pay him out to bring in somebody else in at this stage, it's just not that. And by the way, and who is that person? We talked about the other day. And what the marquee managers that you, the fan, would want to see, and the salary that they would demand is not going to happen. So to just fire Greg to hire the next guy that the fans go, you just hired that guy? Is that a solution?
I think you're looking for proof of progress. I think getting out of the group at the World Cup is an accomplishment. Then coming back to a home Copa America and not getting out of the group is not proof of stagnation. It's proof of regression ahead of this massive moment in American soccer history. How can you continue with them if they get grouped?
With Bolivia and Panama.
Well, there's the big...
And we haven't talked about golden generation talent yet.
Yeah, go ahead and ask me.
Does he stay? Should he stay?
No. I asked for him to step down or for the Federation to let him go after they were 10 seconds away from getting bounced by Jamaica at home in a semifinal of the CONCACAF Nations League. What type of message are you sending, you the Federation, to your fans, as you just mentioned, with the World Cup looming and your golden generation if this is the standard?